Interested in actually seeing the presentation, I would recommend you get closer. You got some nice videos going on. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here. And my name is Gideon Weiss. I'm with Rafael-USA. Next slide, please. Thank you. The EOIR guidance that we're going to talk about is applied on a family of weapons called Spike missile. It's been a program of record with the IDF for many years now. It's been installed on many types of platforms, actually all kinds of platforms from rotary wing down to naval. Many of them been produced. It's exported to many countries, including the United States. And what is important to understand about EOIR guidance for precision strike is that it is part of the mix of weapons, not a replacement of them. So when you have special missions that you want to carry out, that capability will give you that mix in the arsenal. Next slide, please. This is just a glance of the family. So you go from 2.5 kilometers for the mini ones and shoulder launch and 4 kilometers into 8 kilometers and into the 30 odd kilometers of the Spike endless, which is a much greater capability in terms of the range. There's a variety of warheads there. So depending on the mission set, you can select the type of missile and the type of warhead that you have. Next slide, please. This is going to give you a nice overview of what that little beast is. You can see the aperture there of the missile. Maybe you should hit another play because there's supposed to be a movie going on. Just another click. No, that doesn't work. Can you back up, please? So the aperture here is an infrared aperture, and on top of that there is the EOIR daytime. So you can do both daytime and infrared at the same time and flip and toggle between them. Just do page down and see what happens. That's very poor. It's the one on the right. I thought you guys checked it out. Okay, so what you see in the slow-mo here is that the weapon has an infrared, and just right on top of that infrared there's the CCD for the daytime, deployed wings that'll go actually deploy after launch, and the control fins in the back. The rocket motor is a 2-pulse rocket motor. The first rule pulse is to just get the ejection out, and then a very, very smooth, smokeless sustainer that will take it out into the range, into an elevated trajectory that will pull it out to the 30 kilometers. You can turn that off and go back to the presentation, please. This chart just shows the type of missions that you can execute with an EOIR weapon versus the laser or GPS when you have clouds, when you need to go through fog or through smoke, when you need to put your weapon into a window or into a cave. That would not be possible if you were to go do that with a laser or with a GPS weapon. If you need to work under the clouds, if you need to work with against maritime targets, BDA. This will enable you a BDA all the way till the end. And you can control the weapon all the way to the end. You can retarget if you have something of interest, or if you want to improve your point of impact on the target, you can do that until the last moment with this kind of weapon. Next slide, please. This combat situation, and why don't you click it, we'll see if it works. Just click one down, page down, just page down, please. Do you have page down, arrow down? No, so nothing works here, sir. Well, let's go back to your videos and we'll run it from the videos, okay? You're going to want to take okay, the second one from the right. And pause it, please. This is a situation where, no, the second one from the right on the top. On the top, second one from the right. No, second one from the right on the top. From the right. We need you here, sir. Bill? Second one from the right on the top. El segundo de la derecha, el de arriba. Second one from the right. On the top. This one. Okay. Full screen and pause. Full screen and pause. This is a combat situation that the IDF had released. It is a UAV picking up a launcher, a rocket launcher from inside a village. And the situation is very difficult because this is a time-sensitive target. You got to get it very quickly, and you cannot put a JDAM on it. No time to get the GPS coordinates, but it's a very cloudy day, so you cannot target it with a laser-guided weapon. So you need to call in the Cobra with a spike endless missile. So go play, please. Now this operator has the missile in the air. This is now a missile in the air. And the only thing this guy can do is wait for this missile to navigate its mid-course navigation to its coordinate and clear the clouds. So he needs to be patient and wait for that missile to clear the clouds. And you can see this missile just goes through the clouds, just mid-course navigation. But when it clears the clouds, the operator very quickly can regain situational awareness, toggle back, and slave the seeker head to the area of the target. You can see it's the middle of the village, and then you need to look for that target. So you have the time to look for that target, pinpoint where that is, get more and more information as you get closer to the target. And while this guy is standing about 15 kilometers away, you can see the launcher right there and then, and you get a BDA of real time. That's a very unique capability that otherwise would not be able to execute. Let's do the next one. Just go just go left one. One of the challenges that we have with EOIR guidance is how do you use the tracker? You talk about that tracker when you operate in maritime environments. Now you're going to see this advanced tracker, and you see the 4 dots. This is just prior to launch. It's about 25 to 30 knots forward motion. This is now missile in the air. And you see the 4 little dots around the crosshair. And when that happens, it means that you have the active EOIR tracking, and the operator can retarget even if this is a maritime target. Okay? So that enables you to safely and securely get a track even on a moving target, and this time it's a maritime. Next slide. Next video. This shows a unique, you got to pause and, no, pause, go back, please, from the beginning. This is a combat situation where you're shooting against a moving tank. Fire's going on, there's smoke going on. Now you can play. But because you have full control, you see whatever is going on in that missile. You have full control of that missile when it flies. You can go through the smoke. You can still see the target. Get a grip on the target. Once you have the dots on, that means it's locked on and you can let go of your hand. Just correct the aim point. This is a very fast moving target, and that it's a very good hit. Next one. I actually want from the left now. Left to right. Left to right, yes. This is a combat situation where at about 8 kilometers, the deployed force is below that ridge, and they're shooting that missile into an obscured target. So it's a non-line of sight target. Play, please. It's about 8 kilometers down, and this missile, as it's being launched, it's going to elevate and going to have an elevated trajectory. As it does that, the scenery is going to be revealed upon in front of the eyes of the operator, and it sees more and more of the situational awareness of where that target is. He's looking for a house behind that little ridge, and he needs to go into the left window of that house. So as the progress of the flight, you can see that he's now retargeting. You can still see the house. Where's that window? Look for the window, and then you can retarget and aim not only for the target itself, but aim for the aim point on the target. And that's what the EOIR does. You don't have to fly the missile, you just need to tell the missile where you want it to go. And the EOIR tracker, the 4 dots that you see there, will guide it straight to your target, go through the window, get that guy's inside. Next side. This is a retargeting on land, about 4 kilometers. Again, you have the tracker, but this is not the target of interest, okay? Rewind, please, and start from the beginning and just let it play. Rewind. Thank you. That's good. That's good. So, missile in the air, retarget 1. And there's a better target right there on the left. Retarget 2. And as you can see, this is a much better target for this guy. He wants to hit the tank. And the only thing he needs to wait for is when he gets more and more details, just correct your aim point and select where you want to hit. And that is enabled with the EOIR tracker and the fact that you can control it all the way to the end. Next video, and you'll have to pause, full screen and pause. Yeah. You see that village? That's good. That's good. In that village, a ground force is operating, and they have their own mission there, when all of a sudden they come under fire. And their main... All right. So this force, this ground force that's operating inside a village, has come under fire from a truck just outside the target. They're calling in the Cobra, and it's a fast-moving target. It's a time-sensitive target. You got to take it out and let us work in the village. So, play, please. This is now a missile in the air from the Cobra, about 13 clicks away. As far as the operator of this Cobra, this target is incriminated. It's a bad guy. You got to take it. So. The only thing you need to do is keep your crosshair on that target and make sure it hits the target, and then you have the BDA. Well, what happens now? As you get close here, more and more details are being revealed to the operator. You can see something on a roof, you can see something on the hood, and watch what's that happen. Okay, that's a TV. Abort. The only thing this operator needed to do is to click here and click here. First click was to disable and disarm the warhead. And the other click was just to deviate the missile away. It actually crashed about 100 feet away from that vehicle. Next thing that happened was that the ground force had said to the Cobra, what's going on? It's still shooting at us. And he tells him, yeah, it's a TV. I had to abort. And they go, well, it's a camouflage. You got to take it out. So because this guy was shooting at the forces inside, he wasn't even aware that he was targeted because it crashed, didn't even explode. So the next missile did get him. You got to rewind this, please, and rewind. Pause. This is a U.S. operator that has this capability of the 30 clicks from their own vehicle. I cannot elaborate more than that, but I can show you this very unique video of a moving target at that range. So all the way to the end of the range, you're getting a moving target. Play, please. So what you can see here is that this operator is very, very confident. He has the target in the middle, but he can zoom in, zoom out, change from EO into IR, back to EO, scroll around, move around, and look for other targets. Because the missile is not, he's not flying the missile is navigating towards a target. He's back to the target, and then he notices something's going on, and this target starts to move. And from there on end, he's working with a GPS, with a UAV. And so when this guy is moving, okay, we got to get him. So when he's moving, he's going to use his EOIR tracker to go after the guy and catch him. And you can see that this guy is starting to move pretty fast. You see the 4 dots. That means that the auto tracker is tracking that moving target, and the operator just needs to be aware, make sure everything is fine. When that crosshair starts to blink, it means you're about 3 kilometers away from the target. It's going to go into terminal homing. This is the big cross is terminal homing now. 4 dots means a very good track. And as you get closer, you can see the dust. You can see the road that this guy is traveling on. You can abort at any time. But as you get closer, you see more and more details of that truck. You can even see who is on the back of it and how many occupants if you roll it back after the shot. But this is an awesome way to get your BDA and know what's happening. Now, of course, the UAV also told them you did a good job. Last slide, please. End. Just push end. Okay. I will summarize and tell you that EOIR guidance is bringing a lot of added value to the fight. And that's a very important thing when you're fighting different types of warfare, low intensity, counterterrorism, and when you need to combine them into the major big war that you need to carry out. The second thing is that it is not, I still need that slide, please. One back. Thank you. It is not that the operator needs to operate the missile and fly the missile. Okay, it's very easy to operate it, very low workload. You need to pay attention to a few details, and it's very easy to get trained on that. EOIR Seeker is not to replace, but get into the mix of weapons, and it's just an added value of that sort. And these technologies are available today, and Rafael out of Israel is working with Lockheed Martin to introduce this into the United States, and we believe it's a very good success right now. We hope that more users would see the benefits of using EOIR technologies for their benefits and their execution of their missions. Thank you.
Of course. I need the microphone. You're going to YouTube. Okay. So just to make clear, is that an add-on to our current munitions stockpile, or is this a total different munition?
Well, it's a different munition because the U.S. currently is not using EOIR in this sense with man-in-the-loop,
right,
with this tactical way. So it would be an add-on to the mix. And we are looking at other ways in the farther future to add the EOIR technology to existing missiles.
Right.
But the fact that you have a 30-kilometer range with the EOIR man-in-the-loop gives a very unique capability, both in the lethality as well as in the range, with the man-in-the-loop. So this will go into the mix.
So then it's also a new system. So munitions change and a different firing system as well, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, currently
right.
that's what it is.
Okay. Questions, any?
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir, and I really apologize.